everyone, it's Mary. Today I'm coming at you with a book haul, finally. I say finally because most of these books, actually pretty much all of them, I acquired before Christmas, was sort of my Christmas present. But with COVID and with Brexit, because I think all of the books that I buy are from the UK. I usually buy them from the UK, although I have to say that I used Amazon for some of the books that I acquired most recently, just because now with Brexit, as I said, it's going to be tough for me to keep buying. I'm sure the prices are going to raise on Amazon as well. Maybe they just have some books left lying around that are less expensive, but basically that's, the main thing. With Brexit now, books are very expensive for me, which is a pity. I know that there are worse problems in the world right now, but of course, my main hobby, my main escape is books, and my channel is all based around me buying and reading books. So I need to figure out a way. I'll just probably buy less books because, as I said, I don't need a lot of books, but yeah. So I don't want to start this on a sad note though, because I'm very happy to be sharing with you the books that I acquired. So let's start from the books that I actually acquired more recently. We've got Last Caution by Eileen Chang, and this actually Last Caution is a short story, and this is a collection of short stories, but I feel positive towards this kind of short story collection because the stories were actually combined afterwards. So, and they all have different translations. They all have different translators as well. This is translated from the Chinese, and I'm just gonna, for the sake of, of the video, I'm just going to share with you the translator of Last Caution, who is Julia Lovell. And these were written between 1944 and the end of the 70s. I am participating in the Invisible Cities project that I'm going to leave a link down below to. It's a project in which basically every month these group of people select 3 countries to read books from, possibly even listen to the music, watching the movies, eating the food, and this month is going to be China, Colombia, and Egypt. So for China, I actually wanted to read a memoir. It's not a memoir, it's a non-fiction book anyway, which is Wild Swans, but that one is not translated, so that's a bit too long as well. So I want to make sure that I read something from China, and I always wanted to read Last Caution because I actually watched randomly like 20 minutes of the movie because it was made into a movie, and I was browsing and I usually never stop to watch movies that are halfway through. I'm very strict with my watching with movies. I just watch them from the beginning to the end, always. But this one sort of weirdly captivated me. I was so intrigued, so I sort of watched 20 minutes and then I stopped myself because it was like, I'm really liking this, but I want to see it properly. And then I found out that there was a book, and I was even more eager to get to the book first. So yeah, this one. Then we've got Pedro Paramo by Juan Rulfo. This is the original. This is written in the original Spanish because this book is, the author was Mexican, and it makes me smile because this is, so in a university I studied Latin American literature, and my professor was obsessed with Mexico. So we would, all the 3 years of my studying, we were really concentrating on Mexico more than any other country. And he talked at length about this little book, but I never actually read it. And since Mexico is going to be one of the next countries that we're going to read, actually, what I'm trying to do is whenever I see a book from a different country that I'm interested in, I just get it, especially if I never read anything from that country. But in this case, it was I already read plenty of things from Mexico, but I wanted to read Pedro Paramo Although I'm not sure if it was a wise idea to get this one in Spanish, because I hear that it's pretty hard to go through, and it's actually pretty short because this book has a lot of intro. So the actual story is this bit of the book. These are all footnotes, and this is the introduction and analysis. So I guess maybe this edition could help me as well if there's something that I don't get. Yeah. Then I have a book in Italian that I don't think was ever translated, but if it is, I'm gonna leave a link down below. And this book needs complimenting because this book is about Palestine. I hope that's the right pronunciation. I never said it out loud. And it's a sort of a recipe book, but it's written by an Italian person. So of course, when we get to Palestine, I just want to read something from actual Palestinian people. But what's great about this book is that aside from having recipes from Palestine? Oh Jesus, I don't know. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. But it also has a lot of suggestions on music, movies, and books. So, I mean, I cannot wait to get to Palestine, Like, I sort of feel like it's Palestine. But yes, so this one sounded so interesting, and I couldn't pass this one on because I had this in my wish list for a long time, and now that I'm embarking on this project of reading all around the world more actively, yes, I just got this one. Next up I have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I don't think this one needs any explanation, and as I stated previously in one of my book hauls, I just want to dive into the books a little bit blindly. I just don't want to know a lot about what the books are about, and especially this one, which is sort of a famous book. I actually don't know anything about it. I only know that this is the only novel that Sylvia Plath wrote because she was a poet, and she also has apparently a very interesting life. Last year came out a huge biography on her that sounds amazing, but I just want to know a little bit more about her work before tackling that huge book of her life, about her life. So yes, I just wanted to check out her famous only novel, and this sort of gives me Great Gatsby vibes, and I'm very curious to dive into this one. Next up, a Japanese little novella, I would say, novel. It's Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima, and it's translated, I apologize if I sometimes forget to mention the translator, by Geraldine Harcourt. And I think I saw this book on Charlotte's channel from Bookish Mama Blooms, and it's just so appealing to me. Everything about this is appealing to me. The cover, which is beautiful, the fact that it's from Japan, I'm very interested in Japanese literature, and the fact that it talks about a single mother with a 2-year-old daughter and how she really isn't coping well with her situation. You know, I'm a sucker for motherhood related stories, and it's also Japanese. So yeah, this just ticks all the boxes for me. Then we've got a non-fiction book that sounds so amazing that basically as soon as I heard about this, I ordered it. And it is Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. As it says, indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teaching of plants. This sort of blends Native American mythology with botany and philosophy and just natural history. It sounds amazing. I think I read the first sort of paragraph of the preface, and it's just written beautifully as well. So definitely this is high on my priority list. Another book that I sort of instantly, it was an instant buy for me, was Pew by Catherine Lacey. This is a historical fiction novel, I guess. I don't really know in what period this is set, but basically this person is found sleeping in a church. It's more in the US, this is set. And people are first very sort of compassionate towards this figure. They try to help them. They try to rescue this person, to understand why they were there, and to help them. But then they start to grow suspicious of this person because they cannot understand if it's a male or female. They cannot understand their age. And this sort of, I think, explores people's limits in how, how willing they are to actually help other people when they're not sure of the outcome of the situation. It sounds very simple yet very complex in terms of dynamics and feelings, and it sounds amazing. And we've got a book by Elena Ferrante. This, of course, is in Italian because it's the original book, and it's Troubling Love, I guess. I read the Neapolitan novels last year. It was one of my favorite series, basically of all time. I loved her writing style. I am so proud that she's Italian and that she's getting a lot of recognition outside of Italy. And now I just want to proceed and read everything that she ever wrote. Going in publication order, this is the first book that she published. So again, this one is high on my priority list just because I want to read all of her works, and I hope I'm going to enjoy this one. Then we got a book that my sister got me for Christmas, and it is The Outcasts of Time by Ian Mortimer. And I'm not sure if this one is YA or maybe not. I'm not sure, to be honest, but the premise of this book is just great. I put this in my wish list I think 2 years ago, so I don't really remember details of the plot. I just know that it's set in the 14th century. I love historical fiction novels, and this one has time travel involved, which is my favorite sort of literary device. I don't know how to call it. My favorite aspect of a book. If you throw time travel in, then I'm in. And I don't read enough books that have a time travel element to them, so I need to correct that. I have a lot on my wish list that I want to read, and this one has very positive reviews, and it talks about a couple of brothers, I guess. And I don't remember why they want to time travel, or they end up time traveling. I don't know anything, but I just want to read this book because I remember really liking the premise. Sorry if I couldn't tell you anymore, but I just don't want to read the blurb because I don't want to get spoiled. I mean, even knowing that there's time travel involved is sort of spoiling something for me, so let's leave it at that. Then on to my witchy sort of books, which I'm going a little bit crazy with. We've got Green Witchcraft by Paige Vanderbeck. As it says, a practical guide to discovering the magic of plants, herbs, crystals, and beyond. As I said, I am very interested in crystals. I love me some natural remedies and plants stuff, and just little witchcraft thingies. It's got like some potions in it as well. It's a bit of a mishmash of things. Flowers, it says here, like gardening tips, gardening by the moon. I just love this sort of books, and I think this one is going to be interesting as well. So yeah, I think you could expect some books of this nature, because I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. I've always been interested in witchy stuff since I was very young. I feel like it's kind of getting back to me now, and I'm finally saying, well, now that I can, purchase books and just do silly things, and nobody's going to comment on that. Why not? And as I said previously, I also got into tarot. And I got a couple of books on tarot for that reason, that I'm actually currently reading both of them. I've got What the Fuck is Tarot and How Do I Do It by Bakara Wintner. I'm loving this book so much. It's so short, but it's well written, and she's very concise, and it takes sort of a different spin on tarot cards, because, you know, we have the classical books, which I'm going to show you in a bit, and then this more modern sort of approach to it that I'm really loving. So yeah, and also the pages, they smell fantastic and they are shiny. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, I'm really liking this book. And the other book on tarot that I have is a classic one, as I said, and it is Learning the Tarot by Joan Bunning, a tarot book for beginners. That's exactly what it is. It talks about what is tarot, how to do it, basic spreads. It talks about the meaning of each card. And again, I'm finding this one useful. I'm really having fun with this thing that I'm doing. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but for now, I'm enjoying myself. And lastly, we got a book that I never thought I was going to get, this sort of book. Oh, it's very hefty. And it is Skincare by Hirons, the ultimate no-nonsense guide. I saw this book on Lauren from Lauren and the Books channel. She raved about this one, and I actually checked, and the reviews of this book were all positive. It's a book about skincare, as you can see. And I think I am 31 years old now, and my skin has been shit for the past, I think, sort of from my mid-20s onwards. And I mean, I cannot cope with this anymore. I'm not a teenager anymore, and I you know, sometimes I've got breakouts, I think that's how you call them, of acne around. My skin does not love me lately, and I don't know if I needed a book to tell me to just wash my face, because basically for now that's all that I changed. A little bit more washing of the face in the morning and at night. And it's already changing. I mean, it's already working, and I'm halfway through this book. So it's very dense of tips and tricks and products. I love the tone. It's got a lot of pictures inside as well. I'm really liking the book. And actually, when you know, I was reading the introduction to the book, and she was saying how she was obsessed with skincare, and I thought, oh, that sounds such an ADHD thing to say. And she is ADHD. She has ADHD, the author. So I was like, I already instantly love you. I know that if you have ADHD and you're obsessed with skincare, you're not, you know, talking bullshit. You know what you're talking about. Anyway, yes, so I'm really enjoying this one, and I'll report back when I finish it. Yes, so that's it for my book haul. I don't know when and how I will purchase books in the future. Of course, I will reach to Amazon as well, because I just need to purchase some books sometimes. So yeah, but I hope that the situation gets better in terms of Brexit and also COVID, of course. So yeah, let me know if you read any of the books that I mentioned, I guess, and we can talk in the comments. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!